Okay, before we get into a lot of the ins and outs of coaching, let's go over some of the basics of leadership, and in particular, coaching leadership. I'm going to be citing several books that I've read on the topic of coaching leadership. I would recommend all of you check out these books, especially any of the books by Jeff Jensen. He is sort of the guru of coaching leadership and the mental approach and getting a lot out of your players. He's actually a big inspiration for Coach Krzyzewski. Krzyzewski works with Jensen down there in North Carolina area. So anyway, Seven Secrets of Successful Coaches, and it just gives you a sort of a manual on how to be a better, more personable coach. John Maxwell's Qualities of a Leader, as well as Coaching the Mental Game by Dorfman, are three highly recommended books. If you really want to become a better person, a better coach, I'd recommend all three of these books. All right, just there's a couple things from the books. There's a couple different types of leaders and power positions out there. The coercive leader has a positional power, meaning that because they are the coach, they already have a level of power. And those type of leaders, people are going to follow them because they are in that position of power. They're going to follow them because they sort of have to follow them. Whereas you also have what we call credible coaches, and these are people who are more relationship oriented, and they have what's called personal power, which means that people are going to want to follow them because they want to follow them. There's something about their personality that makes people want to follow them, not because of the position, but because of the person. And the movement in coaching is getting more and more coaches who are, I'm going to say, old style, coercive style, into the more relationship style of coaching. And one of the goals of this course is for you all to start becoming more credible and more personal in how you coach and how you provide leadership to our kids. All right, coercive, positional type of power, the traits, this is the old style. The fear, the yelling, the screaming, the embarrassment. They seek to rule and control. They intimidate. They're all over you. They don't smile. Okay, they're just old style, my way or the highway type coach. As a result, the players, they're not going to be too fired up to play for them. They're going to put minimal effort in. They're not going to give 100%. Although there are times when the team unites because the coach is such a jerk, the players want to win just in spite of the coach. They pull together. Sort of they have that team chemistry because of the adverse situation they've been put in. So again, this is sort of the old style of coaching. The new style of coaching is all about relationships. And some of the traits are there. The coaches care. They want to see their players improve, both as players and as people. They seek to relate and connect with the players. They're teachers. It's all about the relationships. And Coach Wooden, Coach Krzyzewski, Coach Smith, Roy Williams, some of the well-known, respected coaches out there are what we call the credible coaches, the ones that are all about providing that personal power, those connections, those relationships. If you're on a team with a coach that has that ability, the team chemistry is going to be phenomenal. The players are going to overachieve. They're going to be committed. They're going to be motivated. All right, all those positive things that you want as a coach, you'll get if you are a credible coach, as Jensen points out, or someone who has that personal power. So how to become that coach? What are some things that you can do to become that coach? Well, the big picture, we're going to go through all of these at some point during the course of the term. But if it's a word that starts with C, it's probably a positive trait. And so the basic qualities, the C's of leadership, and they're in no particular order. You've got character. And it's who you are when no one's watching. What do you stand for? What are your ethics? What are your standards? Courage. Not only courage to try new things, but to admit when you're wrong and to constantly allow yourself to be seen by your players as human. Conviction. Having that conviction, having that, having those goals, having that plan in mind, and working towards getting it is key. Communication, I think, is one of the more key, important aspects of coaching. If you can communicate, you're going to be pretty successful in no matter what you do. Being competent, that's the X's and the O's, the fundamentals. That's what you do between the lines, on the field. A lot of this other stuff is what you do outside the lines. But having the competence, you got to know your stuff for people to be able to follow you. Commitment, showing that you care, that you are, that it's important to you, and you'll do whatever it takes to get your team to that next level. Showing compassion. It's all about motivating players to do their best. It's also about showing that you care. So compassion, caring go hand in hand. Being consistent, not playing favorites is huge. Players pick up on it. They want to see how you handle bench players and how you handle starters. What happens if one of your starters makes a big mistake in school and can't play, or broke a team rule? Are you going to bench him, or are you going to look the other way? Being consistent with your players is huge. Now, you don't have to treat them all the same because each player has different nuances, but certainly being consistent with how you approach it is huge. And lastly, the confidence builders. They're the rah-rahs. They get you fired up to keep working on improving yourself. So as we go through the course, the C's of leadership, how do you become a coach who is going to be more like Wooden, Krzyzewski, some of the new age coaches, and less the old tyrants, control, command type coaches? And that's what we'll be looking at during this term.